Shalom and welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Sean, your host. The website is www.scriptureandprophecy.com. Today we are looking at our Torah portion for last week, actually, and it is called Nasso, and it's the second reading from the book of Numbers, and it's the 35th reading from the Torah. And Naso is a word that literally means to lift up, and it comes from the first word of the second verse in the Hebrew, which could literally be translated to say, lift up the heads of the sons of Gershon, an idiomatic way of saying, making an accounting of the sons of Gershon. This Torah portion finishes up the census of the Levites that was underway at the end of the last portion before going into a discussion are going on to discuss the purification of the camp, the ritual for a woman suspected of adultery, the laws of the Nazarite vow, the priestly benediction, and the gifts the heads of the 12 tribes brought for the dedication of the altar. So it is chapter 4, starting with verse 21, all the way through chapter 7 is what we'll be looking at this morning. And I pray in the powerful name of Yeshua, in the powerful name of Jesus, that you would be blessed by this reading this morning. And even though some of this stuff may seem boring, censuses and things of that nature, hopefully there'll be a nugget in here somewhere for us and for some of you out there. All right, I'm going to read from the Hallelujah Scriptures this morning. Let's begin, starting with verse 21, chapter 4. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Take a census also of the sons of Gershon, by their father's house, by their clans. Register them from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who enter to perform the service, to do the service in the tent of appointment. This is the service of the clans of the Gershonites, in serving and bearing burdens. And they should bear the curtains of the Mishkan, as to say, like the tabernacle, and the tent of appointment, with its covering, the covering of fine leather that is on it, the covering for the door of the tent of appointment, and the screens of the courtyard, and the covering for the door of the gate of the courtyard, which is around the Mishkan, and altar, and their cords and their equipment for their service, and all that is made for them, so shall they serve. Aaron and his sons are in command, all the services of the sons of the Gershonites, all their burden and all their service. And you shall appoint to them all the duty of their burden. This is the service of the clans of the sons of Gershon, in the tent of appointment. And let their duties be under the hand of the Ithamar, son of Aaron, the Kohen, that is to say, the priest. As for the son of Merari, register them by their clans and by their father's house. Register them from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, and all who enter the service to do the work of the tent of appointment. And this is the duty of their burden according to all their service for the tent of appointment, the boards of the Mishkan, and its bars, and its columns, and its sockets, and the columns around the courtyard with their sockets and their pegs and their cords, with all their equipment and all their service, and assign by name the equipment of the duty of their burden. This is the service of the clans of the sons of Merari, as all their service for the tent of appointment, under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the Kohen. So Moshe and Aaron and the leaders of the congregation registered the sons of the Kehathites, by their clans and by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who entered the service for work in the tent of appointment. And the registered ones by their clans were 2,750. These were the registered ones of the clans of the Kehathites, all those serving in the tent of appointment, whom Moshe and Aaron registered according to the command of Jehovah by the hand of Moshe. And those registered ones of the sons of Gershon, by their clans and by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who entered the service for work in the tent of appointment. The registered ones by their clans, by their father's house, were 2,630. These were the registered ones of the clans of the sons of Gershon, of all who serve in the tent of appointment, whom Moshe and Aaron registered according to the command of Yehovah. And those of the clans of the sons of Merari, who were registered by their clans, by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who entered the service for work in the tent of appointment. The registered ones by their clans were 3,200. These were the registered ones of the clans of the sons of Merari, whom Moshe and Aaron registered according to the command of Yehovah by the hand of Moshe. All the registered ones of the Levites, whom Moshe and Aaron and the leaders of Yisrael registered, by their clans and by their fathers' houses, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who came to do the work of the service and the work of bearing burdens in the tent of appointment. The registered ones were 8,580. According to the command of Yehovah, they were registered by the hand of Moshe, each according to his service and according to his burden. Thus they were registered by him as Yehovah commanded Moshe. Chapter 5. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel to send out the camp every leper, and everyone who has a discharge, and whosoever becomes defiled for a being. Send out both male and female, and send them outside the camp, so they do not defile their camps in the midst of which I dwell. And the children of Israel did so, to send them outside the camp, as Yehovah had spoken to Moshe to the children of Israel did. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, when a man or a woman commits any sin, that men commit and trespass against Yehovah, and that being is guilty, then they shall confess their sin which they have done, and he shall restore his guilt, its principal, plus 1/5 of it, and give it to whom he has been guilty. But if a man has no relative to restore the guilt to, the guilt which is restored goes to Yehovah for the Kohen, in addition to the ram of atonement, with which atonement is made for him. And every contribution of all the Kodesh gifts of the children of Israel, which they bring to the Kohen, becomes his. And every man's Kodesh gifts become his. Whatever any man gives to the Kohen becomes his. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When any man's wife turns aside and has committed a trespass against him, and a man has intercourse with her, and it is hidden from the eyes of her husband, and it is concealed that she has defiled herself, and there was no witness against her, nor was she caught, and a spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he becomes jealous of his wife who has defiled herself, or a spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he becomes jealous of his wife, although she has not defiled herself, then the man shall bring his wife to the Kohen, and he shall bring the offering for her 1/10 of an ephah of barley flour. He is not to pour oil on it or to put frankincense on it, because it is a grain offering of jealousy, an offering for remembering, for bringing wickedness to remembrance. And the Kohen shall bring her near, and shall make her stand before Yehovah. And the Kohen shall take Kodesh water in an earthen vessel, and take some of the dust that is on the floor of the Mishkan, and put it into the water. And the Kohen shall make the woman stand before Yehovah, and shall uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of remembering in her hand, which is the grain offering of jealousy, while the Kohen holds his hand the bitter water that brings a curse. And the Kohen shall make her swear, and say to the woman, If no man is lain with you, and if you have not turned aside to uncleanliness unto your husband, be free from this bitter water that brings a curse. But if you have turned aside unto your husband, and if you have defiled yourself, and some man other than your husband has lain with you, the Kohen shall make the woman swear with an oath of the curse, And he shall say to the woman, Yehovah make you a curse and an oath among your people, when Yehovah makes your thigh waste away, and your abdomen swell. And this water that causes the curse shall go into your inward parts, and make your abdomen swell, and your thigh waste away. And the woman shall say, Amen, amen. And the Kohen shall write these curses in a book, and shall wipe them off into the bitter water. And she shall make the woman drink the bitter water that brings the curse, that the water that brings the curse shall enter her to become bitter. And the Kohen shall take the grain offering of the jealousy from the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before Yehovah, and bring it to the altar. And the Kohen shall take a hand filled with the offering, as his remembrance offering, and burn it on the altar, and afterward make the woman drink the water. And when he has made her drink the water, then it shall be, if she has defiled herself and has committed a trespass against her husband, that the water that brings the curse shall enter her and become bitter, and her abdomen shall swell, and her thigh shall waste away, and the woman shall become a curse among the people. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, then she shall be clear, and shall conceive children. This is the Torah of jealousy. When a wife turns aside under her husband and defiles herself, or when a spirit of jealousy comes upon a man, and he becomes jealous of his wife, then he shall make the woman stand before Yehovah, and the Kohen shall do to her all this Torah. And the man shall be clear from wickedness, but the woman bear her wickedness. Okay, real quick, that's pretty interesting. That if a woman was suspected of adultery, there was this ritual that could be done where she would be brought before the priest and before Yehovah and basically consume this contraption. And if she was guilty, it would cause her abdomen to swell and some weird things like that. But if she wasn't guilty, nothing would happen. Very, very interesting how that works out. I'd be curious to see how that played out in real time, like within the Israeli community, well, as they were out in the wilderness. Very, very interesting. All right, chapter 6. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When a man or a woman separates by making a vow of a Nazarite to be separate to Yehovah, he separates from wine and strong drink. He drinks neither vinegar of wine nor vinegar of strong drink, neither does he drink any grape juice, nor eat grapes or raisins. All the days of his separation he does not eat whatever is made of the grapevine, from seed to skin. All the days of the vow of his separation a razor does not come upon his head, until the days are completed for which he separates himself to Yehovah. He is Kodesh, that is to say, holy or set apart. He shall let the locks of his hair of his head grow long. All the days of his separation to Yehovah he does not go near a dead body. He does not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, or for his brother or his sister when they die, because his separation to Elohim is on his head. All the days of his separation is Kodesh to Yehovah. And when anyone dies besides him in an instant, suddenly, and he has defiled the head of his separation, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing, and on the 7th day he shaves it. But on the 8th day he brings 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the Kohen, to the door of the tent of appointment. And the Kohen shall prepare one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering, and shall make atonement for him, because he sinned by reason of the dead body. And he shall Kodesh his head on that day, and shall separate to Yehovah the days of his separation, and shall bring a male lamb a year old as a guilt offering. But the former days are not counted, because his separation was defiled. And this is the Torah of the Nazarite. When the days of his separation are completed, he is brought to the door of the tent of appointment. And he shall bring his offering to Yehovah 1 male lamb a year old, a perfect one as a burnt offering, and 1 ewe lamb as a year old, a perfect one as a sin offering, and 1 ram, a perfect one as a peace offering, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, and unleavened thin cakes anointed with oil, and their grain offering with their drink offerings. And the Kohen shall bring them before Jehovah, and prepare his sin offering and his burnt offering. And he shall prepare the ram as a peace offering to Jehovah together with the basket of unleavened bread. And the Kohen shall prepare its grain offering and its drink offering. And the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation and the door of a tent of appointment, and shall take the hair from the head of his separation, and shall put it on the fire which is under the slaughtering of the peace offering. And the Kohen shall take the boiled shoulder of a ram, and 1 unleavened cake from the basket, and 1 unleavened thin cake, and put them upon the hands of the Nazarite after he has shaved his dedicated hair. Then the Kohen shall wave them, a wave offering before Jehovah. It is Kodesh for the Kohen, besides the breast of the wave offering, and besides the thighs of the contribution. And afterwards the Nazarite shall drink wine. This is the Torah of the Nazarite who vows to Jehovah, their offering for his separation, and besides that, whatever else his hand is able to provide according to the vow which he takes. So shall he do according to the Torah of his separation. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, This is how you barak the children of Israel. Say to them, Jehovah barak you and guard you. Jehovah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Jehovah lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall baruch, that is to say, bless them. All right, before we move on to chapter 7, let's look at that blessing again. And this is something that I have spoken over my son for many, many years. And it's just something that I think that we should pray over our children, or speak over our children, or even other family members, people that we love. Very powerful prayer, or very powerful blessing words, or however you want to describe it. Again, verse 23 says, or let's start with 22. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, This is how you barak, which means barak, or which means to bless. This is how you barak the children of Israel. This is how you bless them. Say this: Jehovah barak you and guard you. Jehovah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Jehovah lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall barak them. And of course, the King James Version says it like this: The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, let's read chapter 7, and then we will be finished with our Torah portion study for today. And it came to be, when Moshe finished putting up the Mishkan, that he anointed it and Kodesh it and all its furnishings, as well as the altar and its utensils. Thus he anointed them and Kodesh them. And the leaders of Israel, heads of their fathers' houses, who were the leaders of the tribes, and over the ones registered, drew near. And they brought their offering before Jehovah, 6 covered wagons and 12 cattle, a wagon for every 2 of the leaders, and for each one a bull. And they brought them near before the Mishkan. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Accept from them, and they shall be used in doing the service of the tent of appointment, and you shall give them to the Levites, each one according to his service. And Moshe took the wagons and the cattle and gave them to the Levites. And he gave 2 wagons and 4 cattle to the sons of Gershon according to their service. And he gave 4 wagons and 8 cattle to the sons of Merari according to their service under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the Kohen. But to the sons of Kohath he gave none, because theirs was the service of the Kodesh objects, which they bore on their shoulders. And the leaders brought the dedication of the altar, and the day it was anointed. So the leaders brought their offering before the altar. And Jehovah said to Moshe, Let them bring their offering. 1 liter each day for the dedication of the altar. And the one who brought his offering on the first day was Nahashon, son of Amminadab, from the tribe of Yehudah. And his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with the fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Nahashon, son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathaniel, son of Sirar, leader of the Yissachar, brought near. He brought his offering 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. The gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Nathaniel, son of Sirar. On the third day, Eliab, son of Helon, leader of the children of Zebulun. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Eliab, son of Helon. On the fourth day, Elitzar, son of Shedeyar, leader of the children of Reuben. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elitzar, son of Shedeyar. On the 5th day, Shelumiel, the son of the Suradahiah, leader of the children of Simeon. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Shumiel, son of Surshadiah. On the 6th day, Elisaphat, son of Duel, leader of the children of Gad. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elisaphat, son of Duel. On the 7th day, Elishama, son of Aminahud, leader of the children of Ephraim. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elishama, son of Amminahud. On the 8th day, Gamliel, son of Padetsur, leader of the children of Manasseh. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This is the offering of Gamliel, son of Padetsur. On the 9th day, Abinadab, son of Gedoni, leader of the children of Binyamin. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Abinadab, son of Gedoni. On the 10th day, Ahizar, son of Amishhadiah, leader of the children of Dan. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Ahizar, son of Amishhadiah. On the 11th day, Pag-iel, son of Okran, leader of the children of Asher. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Pag-iel, son of Okran. On the 12th day, Ahira, son of Eaton, leader of the children of Naphtali. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of tin filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a peace offering 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Ahira, son of Eaton. This was the dedication of the altar from the leaders of Israel when it was anointed. 12 silver dishes, 12 silver bowls, 12 gold ladles. Each silver dish was 130, and each bowl 70. All the silver of the vessels was 2,400, according to the shekel of the Kodesh place. The 12 gold ladles filled with incense was 10 each, according to the shekel of the Kodesh place. All the gold of the ladles was 120. All the cattle for the burnt offering were 12 young bulls, the rams 12, the male lambs a year old 12, and their grain offering, and the male goats as a sin offering 12. And all the cattle for the peace offerings were 24 bulls, the rams 60, the male goats 60, the lambs a year old 60. This was the dedication of the altar after it was anointed. And when Moshe went into the tent of appointment to speak with him, he heard the voice of one speaking to him from above the lid of atonement that was on the ark of the witness, from between the two cherubim, that is to say, angels. Thus he spoke to him. That is the end of our portion for today. I hope that you were blessed by it, and I think we should read that prayer one more time. Let me go back. Speak to Aaron and to his son, saying, "This is how you Barak. It's hard to decide how to pronounce that. The children of Israel, say to them, Yehovah barak you and guard you. Yehovah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yehovah lift up his face upon you and give you peace." I pray that blessing is upon you all this morning. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow with this week's Torah portion. So that's kind of the plan, was to do last week's today, since we couldn't get to it last week. And then tomorrow we'll do Numbers, we'll do this week's Torah portion, which is Numbers chapter 8 through chapter 12, verse 15. And so we'll talk about that tomorrow. All right, friends, that's all I have for you this morning. I pray you've been blessed in the name of Yeshua, in the name of Yehovah. I hope you're enjoying these studies and the work that I put into this every week. Please consider supporting the podcast. You can do that by going to scriptureandprophecy.com. And also, if you haven't picked up the devotional, I really think you're missing out, because I really do believe that it can be a huge blessing to you. It's very short, little bite-sized devotionals about the end of days that just kind of make things more clear and help point your eyes towards the Savior, towards Messiah, who hopefully is returning very, very soon. Peace and grace be with all of you, and until next time, God bless.